Hello and welcome back to this new episode of the Lounge. I think it's the episode 10, so this is getting some momentum right now. And I'm pleased to be joined by Nick, Juan, and Jack for the moment because we might have some more people joining in some minutes. I think all regular guests except Nick. Nick is the first time you're here, so I'm very very happy
Welcome, Nick.
Exciting, isn't it?
you were able to join.
So is it the middle of the night for you or something?
No, it's the best time ever for the first time ever.
Oh, right.
Quarter to 10.
Is that why you're joining us today? The time is all
I
right.
know, it's exciting. I was just
This
talking
is
to
a
Lindsay
New
earlier
Zealand
saying
friendly
everything-
time, so yeah.
Everything's normally at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. and it's like, have fun, guys. But yeah, I can be here for this. It's really cool.
All right, guys, we just had the main draw, as I think all of you know very well this weekend. How was your experience? We're just commenting. I was exhausted after the 3 rounds in a row on the live stream. So, I mean, it was just mind blowing for me. Was the same for you? How was the offline experience doing 3 rounds back to back without knowing am I true or not?
I'm going to leave it up to Nick and Lorenzo to start being, as they are, the finalists amongst us.
Yeah. What was it like for you guys?
It was intense. It was mad. First round was a punt bundle. Most nerves I've had probably all year, which is crazy. Kind of took me back a little bit to almost being in Vegas last year when I basically didn't know how to type once the start or read, but not being able to read is pretty normal for me. Once the start hit. But anyway, kind of made my way through the first round. Kind of felt really confident actually and good about how I did. Round 2 was Tim's card game.
I still need to do them, so no spoilers, please. No, I mean, not too spoilers, not too many spoilers.
I had an issue on level 3. I mean, without giving too many spoilers away, if you Lorenzo, it's set up as kind of almost too many cases in one, where both based from cards, where the first round from levels 1, 2, and 3 are kind of based on one way of dealing with the cards, and then 4, 5, 6, 7 kind of goes back to being easy again and ramping back up. And yeah, level 3, I didn't interpret properly. It was the sort of thing where I was reading the question over and over and over, and my interpretation of it was stuck in my head when I first read it, which was basically to say that I've got these cards and I need to be dealing with them in the sequence that they've been presented to me in, these 12 cards in order, rather than I have 12 cards, move them around and deal with them how you want. And for that reason, I couldn't get anything to match, couldn't get it to work. Scraped by a few points on the other levels, but came out of that one with such little confidence that actually all the stress and adrenaline just kind of left me, and I was able to do round 3 really stress-free because in my mind I'd already left the competition. So it's funny how that one ends up. I think I ended up having the lowest winning score of someone in round 2. So I got really lucky or fluky, I guess, with the matchup there.
I was looking
I
at the
really like
brackets. You're in bracket 6. Well, 720 in round 2. I know round 4 was the complex one. 568. Doesn't look so bad, to be honest. So
Yeah,
I mean, it looks so
the
bad
lowest winning
next
score
to
still.
55. But the other scores in the next bracket were 680 and 600.
Mm.
770,
Lost
600,
Anders.
680. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've pretty much got, like, I would say the third lowest score in that case. To be fair, there's only 8 people that took part, so you got the 5th
Yeah,
score in that
The
case.
third lowest out of 8 isn't meant to win. It's not meant to happen. Yeah, so
That-
very
But,
lucky.
I mean, that's the thing. You just don't know, especially in the morning session. I did have the opportunity to sprint through and get excited about how I just did a Taylor Swift case, see that I wasn't still in, and then come back and carry on playing for the fun of it. So you didn't have that chance, so you just had to kind of like guess.
Juan, how was for you? The offline. experience?
It was a bit shocking from the day before because when Jade announced, "Hey, here are the case authors," I'm like, "What the hell?" Yeah, that was my original case for August, which I changed later on for Pipemare, and they made it easier because obviously it was way harder because that's what I do. But yeah, I thought I'd done better actually. For round 1 or 3, depending how you look at it, I thought it was kind of a massacre. Like it was so. You see a Peter Charles case and you don't expect that.
Yeah.
It's like Peter makes cases that have a twist and are on the easier side. This was just a freaking grinding machine. So yeah, and I think I tackled it from the wrong angle because
Same.
I should have done like a circular reference thing, right? And I did not do that. I literally for the rows on the stages, I did that by hand. Whenever you do something by hand in that case, you're no.
Probably still better than my approach, I think. So
What did you do?
I tried to build like a matrix combining each possible spot with each possible spot on stage, calculate the distances, and do like some crazy calculation to define the row. And I bombed completely Excel. So I had to restart 3 times for that freaking data table. Yeah. So I lost a lot of time. And it was the wrong approach because when I got it to work, I was like 70% correct on level 3. So I said, fuck it. Shut down level 3 and moved on to level 4. And it was a disaster. So I was kind of lucky with the draw on that one.
Wow.
But,
I started with a map lambda, right? With a distance lambda, because I'm like, oh, okay, so every row is this is just for the first thing, right? So
yeah.
Freaking hell. This would be so much easier if it was the harder version.
I mean, I feel it might be fair to reciprocally not give any spoilers to Nick if he hasn't done the cases yet.
I've done it.
I think he done. Yeah, it was not.
It was awesome actually, and I don't know where everyone else sat in terms of the eureka moment about what seamstress fast actually meant, but I did it with Ella on what must have been Sunday, and watched the case video. And it was like, all right, ready to go, and then I like had a light bulb moment. I'm like, oh.
Now I get it. Yeah.
So good, because at first I'm like, what on earth is this about? Like seamstress. I was thinking it was like, I don't know, sewing or something, like it was, based on the title. And then it's this concert, and then I'm like, oh, this sounds like Taylor Swift. And then I'm like, Taylor, seamstress, Swift, fast. Oh, good. Cool case. I thought it was a really cool case. Really different how they had the basically the 7 levels on one track and one stream, and then the bonus is all based on something else. So it's almost like a choose your own path within a case, which is pretty cool. I love when you get innovation like that now, which is just different because I don't know, we're 300 or 400 cases probably deep, and it's pretty hard to come up with unique little twists. So kudos to Peter for putting that together. Level 3, as I was going through it, like level 1, like fine, 2, fine, 3, I'm like, I know what you're asking, but that's actually not very easy.
And that's not
that's level 3.
I mean, to know what he's asking, it's not. I will take this for granted.
I had the Harry Gross approach, as you're pointing out. I honestly, I did. Oh, yeah, that's just a distance from. Did a distance from.
Yeah.
Or I think I was looking just at what tier you were in, and thought, well, this is kind of easy for level 3. Did level 4, got to level 5, and like, how am I supposed to calculate how far each person is in which row within their tier? And I didn't click that I hadn't done level 3. And if I'd gone back at that point, I might have actually got some points there. But
I looked at 3 and I understood quite quickly, I think, what it related to, and I saw some chat on the WhatsApp group and whatnot afterwards, and people were really struggling with the interpretation. I mean, kind of eureka moments when you know what they're after. But I think I read it correctly the first time. I just went, oh, that's tricky. That's hard. How do I do that? And I racked my brain for like 30 seconds, and then I'm nearly committed to the JJ approach of going, right, let's just manually do something to the side to get this out. And then I'm like, you know what, I might just go on to the next level. I did. I think level 4 was okay. And then level 5, from memory of it, you basically needed the level 3 workings again. And I'm like, all roads lead back to level 3.
I think at level 5, I started doing it manually because I was like, how am I supposed to do this without like having calculated this only in the case?
I worked out an okay approach in the end, which was cool. I had a listing of all of the addresses of the seats, various seats. I did a quick little lookup table, and then I obviously had alongside it kind of where you were, whether you were stage 4, tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a quick little lookup table to say, right, floor, I'm going to look you up against the stage. Tier 1, I'm going to look you up against the floor. Tier 5, I'm going to look you up against the floor, i.e. what's the tier beneath you? And then I did a distance from each of the cells to a filtered list of the tier beneath them and took the minimum. And that just then gave me kind of the tier listing. But it actually kind of leveraged a bit of my level 4 workings, which is basically from memory, like how far are you from the stage, which I'd done. And then I'm like, oh, I just basically know how far am I from like the tier beneath. So filtered list. Worked out okay and didn't require the hand working of JJ. But I mean, I don't think I made it to level 7. I think I got one of the bonuses or something because it was like just another thing to understand and learn.
What's frustrating to me is I had the bonus question for bonus 5. I put the answer in. It appended it because I was typing it in, not pasting it in. And I had to go delete. While I was deleting my way back through the cell to type it in again, the time ran out. And that would have gotten me to day 2, and I would have been like... I was literally a second from day 2, and I've been mulling that over in my head for a day. But I want the tea. What is happening with Gabe? Gabe, what happened? I see Gabe's in the chat.
Well, that's I had a little advantage. I had an ace up my sleeve 5 minutes before the competition. Gabe messages me on WhatsApp, and he's like, hey, I'm in the hospital. Don't worry, it's nothing serious, but I cannot be at my computer right now. So enjoy your free pass to Las Vegas.
Oh, no.
Oh, sorry about that.
Anyway, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I was right away. I messaged Jade. I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Gabe just told me this, right? And I have no idea if there's wildcards for day 2. But if there are, Gabe should get one. But apparently, Gabe told me that he told me that he would not go to Vegas either way. So that's.
Okay, so this message gives us a bit hope that Gab is okay. So.
Yeah, it's a bit of a context, but I'm
glad you're okay, Gabe. That's the good news.
Absolutely.
But that must have been
we should have competed against him, but happens. Feel kind of lucky, but
we'll see.
Oh, absolutely. I will see you there
next year in Vegas. Sounds good.
Yeah,
I mean, more stressed on case 1 or case 3, depending on the designation, because it was, for day 2 qualification, and I was very, very, very nervous on that one, and I think the results speaks for itself. My first go at level 3 was, okay, so you're just asking the raw number from the cell? No, not at all. So the 50% of me already knew it was not the way, but the other 50% of me was so nervous. I tried to paste in the raw numbers, and I got 5% score on level 3. So I said, okay, it's not gonna to be that easy.
Because you had the feedback. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. I hadn't considered that. Wow.
Yeah, I think that the feedback changes the way you approach the case on an online route for sure. Nowadays.
I took so freaking long on that case, just naming ranges, and I used none of the freaking names.
Did you know as you were naming? I sometimes have I don't know, I'm doing something, going through a case, and then I can see myself looking down, watching myself going, you know you're not going to use that. You know that this isn't working. And then like they
I
spend a
was
conversation with that
starting
person going,
to.
I know, but I don't know what else to do.
Yeah. Well, I actually I have a macro for naming ranges. Like you will grab a bunch of columns and it will name it the name of the sheet plus the name of the header. So it
Okay.
makes it
That's
way
interesting.
faster. But when the names start, kind of repeating, which they actually did, it starts getting iffy.
Does it
Yeah.
get rid of the spaces as well? Yeah, I think so.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
No, it just it does the whole
And
thing.
if you force a name,
I recall this meditation lab.
if you force a name, it automatically forces it to have the name that is acceptable using VBA.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with my Compot, I've got it so that it was naming ranges. I actually had to have a hack on Compot on the day of the competition because I've got it naming ranges based on the name of the sheet. And the thing is, I also then go and name the actual range, like the map or whatever, the name of the sheet usually. And that's caused so many issues with certain lookups in my Compot or in Lambda Robot or anything like that, because it goes and renames. It gives the name that I gave it as name one, but then it actually gives it like an assigned name in VBA of name one _. And it really messes up Lambda generation and stuff like that in OA Robot. So I had to actually go and force my named ranges to do like a used range _ name range to get different sheets, their names when I open it. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
Harry
It's
said
interesting what
the
Harry says
feedback
there.
says
Yeah.
the feedback was going to stress him. I would like
It
to
does.
understand more. I mean, the live stream stresses you more than the feedback probably, but I'm curious to
Well, I
to
mean,
hear
it's
more.
the feedback of seeing dim score going up and
Yeah.
up and up and up. I think anyone facing that feedback.
I think it's a matter of expectation because I had the expectation of Dim flying through the cases, so I was not surprised when I saw Dim was like 300 points, 400 points ahead in the first 5 minutes. You just have to, I mean, be okay with it in some way, and 30 minutes is it's a long way, but I mean, it was crazy fast during the day, so it was carrying.
Oh, for the third case, because I did the second case and I was really salty at the end because I couldn't manage to finish level 6. I have a rotate lambda, and I did not use it because I am that much of an idiot, right? And I see the video. I look, I'm like, hey, this is perfect for my rotate lambda. I think of that, and then I did not use it. So it's like, what the heck is wrong with me, right? And so I did that, and I'm like, okay, this would have been so much faster with this. And I started doing it with the rotate lambda. It was very fast, and thankfully it was very, very fast, because by the time I finished that and I went back to the platform, the third case was 15 seconds in.
Oh no!
I mean, I wouldn't. I did not get to the last stage, and I would not have beaten, freaking Sergio's 12:36.
43.
Bananas, right? But still, starting 15 seconds later, because you're still hung up on the previous case, is not good.
Yeah, it's mentally very stressful, probably. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm.
Okay, so Harry says.
Harry's comment. I was just thinking about Harry's comment, Lorenzo. It raised an interesting point, right? The stress of the live stream. Like, is it an advantage or a disadvantage? What do you guys think?
Absolutely disadvantage. I don't know what the
disadvantage is.
You think so as well?
I don't know. For specifically for me, I think I handle the pressure quite well, and at the same time, I'm not so accurate, so I benefit probably from the live feedback because my weak point is I do lots of silly errors, so that is an immediate feedback for me, which is really useful. I can understand for other people is probably a disadvantage because the nerves are very high, and you're watched by everyone. So
Yeah.
what do you think?
And I've always found it really stressful when I'm on the stream. I say that. I find it stressful until you're doing the case. And then you feel like you need to do well, but I'm usually in my head so much that I forget that I'm on the stream, and I forget to even look at the scores, to be honest. Every now and again I glance up and go, oh, my score's all right then, and then kind of go back to what I was doing, or use that feedback. I have actually bounced up trying to get feedback on where my scores are, but I think I'm more scared before the live stream battle than I actually am in the battle itself.
I think it's kind of weird, right? Because I get nervous on the stream, but not in Vegas. Like when I competed in Vegas last year, I was so calm. I was so just.
I remember that.
Just like I know people reacted on the competition to what the commentators were saying. I have no clue what they said.
And you were without headphones. I remember because I was seated in front of you. I was, how is this possible that man is so calm in this situation?
I can't relate to any of this.
Randomly looking at your instruction sheet with the handout for the finals, like looking at the instruction, then modeling in Excel without headphones.
Yeah, I have no idea how I did that. I don't know, but yeah, when I've done live stream, it's been pretty bad. Well, the first time I thought it was at the same time as the competition, and it's half an hour later. So I had all this energy like set to go. Imagine you're going to run a race and you're set at the start, and then they tell you
1 hour.
Half an hour. That is not good.
Yeah, agree.
No. That is no. Holy crap, no.
But the chat says advantage without bonus lock. Yeah, bonus lockout is. I think it's better also from an overall competition perspective not to introduce the bonus lockout because it's different compared to the people competing offline. And Mr. Michael German, pleased to see you here, Michael, says advantage 100%. Yeah. No, it's true. For bonuses, it's very, very helpful.
True. What do you guys think? Did you guys see the comment that Andrew dropped on the about the platform that we should get rid of the stop solving early and just track whenever your score went up? What do you guys think?
I'm a fan of that, and I get the rationale behind it too. The very first case that I did on Saturday on the weekend, which was the what was it? Kind of the race car. I can't remember what it's called, but the race car based case. Cool case. I managed to get through 4 levels and 6 levels, 4 bonuses pretty quick. Maybe had nearly half my time left to then consider, level 7. And bonus 5 was based on level 7 and it wasn't guessable. And after spending 5 minutes thinking about it, and I was probably about 22 minutes into it, I literally thought to myself, like, is this going to be a common stopping point for everyone? Should I submit now? Should I just be done? So that my competitor was Bo, who I was not taking lightly. If this is a case where I spend the next 10 minutes trying to crack level 7 and I don't, I'm not going to be able to guess any answers. It's not really one you can do manually. And it could be that he gets to the same point as me a few minutes earlier, and that's the end of things. And that's that's a really good, and Andrew and I would have done the same case as me in the same kind of draw, right? But that's like a really good example where you race to a point in time where you can have a lot of time to basically commit to trying to solve the last hard question, which I guess you want your competitors doing. Whereas, someone, I got there in 15 minutes, my competitor might have got there in 25 minutes, hit the button early. Meanwhile, I'm trying to solve level 7. I don't. I get eliminated because I hit the stop button later. I ended up stopping it, I think, at like 27, 28 minutes and just being like, well, maybe that time's going to help me. And luckily I had enough points anyway. But I think it's a really good point on the debate, because when you do that in Vegas, it's not going to be based on when you hit, when you give up, when you submit. It's going to be based on them electronically.
That strategy of stopping early isn't going to come into play.
The platform allows them to have all that feedback and information now, which they didn't before. So maybe a bunch of the stuff is them, because they've introduced the platform halfway through the year, they're not really wanting to change the rules and mess things up too much. Trying to find that right balance of staying true to how things were done 6 months ago when the platform wasn't live. But yeah, I think going forward in the future, absolutely, it'd be a better way to go about it, so that people are continuously trying to get more points.
Yeah, I think the limitations of flexi quits have shaped the competition that we know today. But if we think out of the box, doesn't make sense even not to have the feedback, for example, or why not seeing the scores of every player competing live? I mean, it's a completely different story, but in theory that would be possible and potentially also a nice twist to the competition. So yeah, I'm a fan as well of Andrew's suggestion. Also because I like very much the underlying idea of making people more willing to push a bit on the limit before, without fearing to lose on time just because they're trying hard to solve a hard level. So yeah, 100%
I think that's
agree on
potentially
that.
another advantage that we currently have of the live solve, so of the solves in Vegas, of the solve on stream, is you don't have that decision to make about whether to cut off early and, have a run at it. And I mean, we saw what happened. I believe Ha got knocked out on a matching 1,000 score against Will Freestone, and it was down to who chose when to cut off early for that case. And I think Will gave it like 2 minutes before the end, and
like a thousand points getting knocked out was
That's awful.
mad. Such a high score to go out on.
Yeah, it's
But last year I went out on 1-2-0 score probably against Peter. So yeah, it can be.
Wow, I remember that. Oh
yeah,
ouch.
it was the Portal V1 case. Peter got like 1-2-3-5. I got 1-2-2-0, something like that. So none of us got the 1250 for score. We both submitted with 5 minutes on the clock. I mean, worst decision of my life, to be honest. So yeah, I'm a fan again of not having the submit early button.
Well, I've seen some people like bring up the rationale that it is a strategy, right? And I agree that it is a strategy, but it is a boring strategy. It's not a fun strategy. It's like giving up beforehand being a strategy. I think it's not fun. I think fighting to the very last second, that's fun. Like imagine it's like you're watching Rocky, right? And he gives up because maybe he wins by points or something like that. It's like
that would be a very boring match. Then I'm out.
Yeah, can you imagine that?
Yeah, I think we are in agreement also, considering the comments. Thomas, Marcelo, Michael, all in agreement here. So
we need to record this and send it to the FMWC
for the records.
That is the reigning world champion. He'll enjoy being called that. Well done. Gave up early before trying level 7 for 3 out of the 5 cases for this reason.
Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't be optimal not to try, because we're trying to push the limit here. We're not trying to game the system. We're trying to be as good as we can, and that's just
I think there is a lot of strategy anyway that comes into play with the contestants, both in your training, in what you've set up for your Lambda library, in your choice of which levels to go for, whether you want to go for bonuses, especially if you're on a live stream and you've got bonus knockouts. So there is a lot of other strategy that comes into play, and I don't feel that strategy aspect necessarily adds anything to the game.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there are fun
we're not going to have
strategies,
that
right?
issue in Vegas, are we? So hopefully they get that sorted for next year, and we won't have that issue again. They've been pretty. I'm going to commend them. I think they've been pretty receptive to the feedback of the community and actually trying to integrate the ideas and suggestions that come through, and basically find ways to go. Yep, that's a good point. If we can implement it, we will. The day 2 play along, which they brought forward as an idea that they could work with, like with a few days' notice in between rounds.
Yep.
Like awesome. So yeah, I think kudos to them, like just being receptive to community feedback where it makes sense and where it can be integrated. They do.
Yep.
Awesome. I want to
we'll have another
discuss
problem in
something.
Vegas.
Last year, in the round of 64, we had 2 female contestants. when we got down to the final 8, we had two
Two.
female contestants. This year, round of 64, we had 3 of us. Yay, go me. I actually got there. By 32, we had 0.
Ouch.
What is happening to the women in this sport right now? I mean, I know you can't really speak for the women in this sport. But...
Yeah, I am. Last I checked, I can't really,
we've got a lot of really strong contenders, and I mean, Emily did an amazing round.
Yeah.
Amazing
True.
season in this competition, absolutely annihilating Peter Shaw. And I think if it wasn't for Emily, we wouldn't have had the Seamstress fast case. Because Peter would have still been in. Oh no, they were both in there.
No, he was in the morning
session,
session. Yeah.
Okay. But that was, an amazing banger of a round from Emily. Unfortunately, she was knocked out in the 64. So was I. Who was the third lady that we had in the top 64? This is an assumption. There could well have been other ladies. I am not going to assume gender based on names. So
well, there's Princess Camille Ong.
Yeah.
She's a lady.
Is she?
I think so.
Vanessa Schultz from Germany, from memory, her round 1 score, Benny's brought up in the chat, is I want to say it was in the 700s and would have been a winning score against the vast majority of matchups.
Yeah.
But her matchup was Mr. Andrew Nye, so she wasn't.
It was. Vanessa was our best hope for knocking Andrew out this year.
LCQR is gonna be a bloodbath. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Just
I can already smell the blood coming from that room.
I'm more excited about. Top 8 seeding and getting through to the semifinals, awesome. I'm more excited about the part that means that by doing that, I'm not in the last chance round. I need to go through that more than I am about automatically being in the semifinals. Last year, I went through the last chance round and on my way to ultimately getting in the final, which was awesome. I felt pretty comfortable and relaxed going into the last chance round, going, if I do my best, even with a bit of wiggle room, I feel like I'll be okay here. If I was going into the last chance round this year, I would not feel that way at all.
No.
I would Nick, you're bringing your best, and if you don't, you cannot expect to make it.
So I'm not even on the rankings sheets for who could last chance qualify this time. So it's for me. The notion of it was, if I'd had that 1 extra second in the game, I'd be on day 2. With the last chance qualification round, I think my odds are 1%, if that.
No. They're not 1%, not at all. You are absolutely a better competitor than that, Jack. But it becomes a case where you can look at it and go, I need to hit this out of the park, rather than if I'm putting in a good performance, it might be enough. That bar is not really there for majority of the people in there. Even the really good people in the last chance round are actually there amongst 30 other really good people. So a good performance from a good competitor is probably not enough.
Plus 200 random students, and if only 5% of them are going to be, let's say, in a good day, that's an additional 10 people still in spots. Just because they're
if
there
only
for the conference.
1% of
that
them is Benny, then you're in trouble as well.
I mean, Benny is a different beast, but let's talk about all the students that are there for the conference and just trying their shot at the last chance qualification round. Last year, when I saw the room and I needed to qualify, I have all the pressure of coming from the other freaking side of the world and needing to qualify. I said, oh my God, this is going to be not granted at all. Guys, I think we have another guest joining. Dim?
Oh, wow.
Hey,
hello.
Mr. Early, you are late.
I am fashionably late. Never heard that
We're
one.
just
Very
chatting about
original.
I'm sure.
Yeah, super original.
We were just doing some commiserations about the last chance qualification round this year, which seems to be, I mean, a nightmare from a certain point of view.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
But hey, before we move on, I just wanted to mention about girls. Actually, from Chile, we have 6 finalists. 2 of them are very strong female contenders. So yeah,
That's great.
we might have a Chilean contender going there.
That's fantastic.
Primo.
And was a massive showing in the DACH region as well.
Yeah.
There were a very heavy weighting of female contenders, and I mean Vanessa was just amazing, and it was just a really good showing there. In the UK, we've got a few coming through. I mean, we've got Esther, so that's always in our favor. But we've got quite a few that will be coming up, especially the more we all train together. So.
Yeah, there's one extra little wild card from Kiwiland that's trying to make her way through as well. She's kind of aligned herself with someone who's coaching her pretty hard. So we'll see if Ella Bovic can do okay.
Hashtag Team Bovic.
Oh yeah, she was. Oh, she was so close to getting out of round 1, but got seeded against the unofficial 33 seed, Mr. Stevenson Yo, and Ella misinterpreted like bonus 1 of the weightlifting case and got screwed
heavy
on that, and otherwise would have got through, which she was kind of a bit annoyed about afterwards. But I mean, look, Ella only really started taking it seriously a couple of months ago, so hopefully she is kind of converted from here and will join me at 3:30 a.m. going forward for some of the Road to Las Vegas rounds, and kind of keep developing. It's pretty cool to have Bobby together.
I think someone else mentioned there was also at least 2 of the high contending ladies were up against each other in the first round this year. I'm trying to remember who it was. Stephanie? Who was playing Stephanie?
Stephanie against Brit, probably.
I think in the first round, yeah.
Ouch, man. That's just a hard draw to lose one of our top female contenders just in the first round, naturally.
Yeah, and also like Brit versus Willem in round 2 was like reproducing a round 5 match from last year. It's just really bad luck.
Yeah. There have been some very unlucky draws with the ladies this year, I would say, to get to the point where we're only kind of 2 out of 64 or 3 out of 64 is pretty low.
What do we think about
we've decided it's 4 out of 64 now, haven't we? So it's going up a little bit more. What do you guys think about the way we do 256?
Yeah, what do you think of this? Because I think he has a point here. I mean, the sequence of steps of the tournament, it's a bit convoluted, so to speak, because you have knockout, you have rankings, then you have knockouts, then you have again an arena with 64 people, and then you have the elimination. So I don't know, maybe it could be knockout at the end, and before that the sort of all versus all format. What's your thought on that?
I've got quite a strong view on this. I think that it worked. It's maybe worked all right in the past, but I think the stakes are a bit higher now than they used to be. You could have a friendly draw and get yourself $1,000 guaranteed by making it the top 32. Like that's possible now. You could, I mean, yeah, you've got 256 people there. I know that we've banned AI. I think just probability based, some people probably still tried it that either didn't know the rules or decided to give it a go anyway, because, you know, within the 256, there's probably over 100 people that aren't regularly kind of engaged with the rounds and kind of part, you know, a real part of the community in that sense. And if you kind of just get a really shoddy matchup first round, then suddenly you're knocked out, and people are paying money to be a part of this, but also how it's viewed outside of the community. Like people are like trying to leverage this in their careers and stuff. And there's a difference being said that you made it to round 3 versus round 1, and you know you made it to the top 64 versus 256, where the luck plays a part in terms of who you matched against. Yep. So where I come from here is I reckon you could keep the same sort of brackets the same if you wanted to, but if you would, for round 1, you have maybe if you're pooled together with 4 people, then the best 2 scores, regardless, kind of go through. or you could go wider than that and say, look, here are the Asia Pacific people. We're starting off with 96 people in the AM bracket. The top 48 scores go through. And what you'd be doing is trading off, right? You'd miss the excitement as considered for some, where you have crazy matchups that happen, which are always amazing when they're not you. When you're looking at someone else, right? If you're involved, and it's like, oh, brilliant! I've been
like,
matched up with like Jakob in round 1, you know, because he's not seeded. Like, yay! Like whoever got that, like that's not fun for them. So look, you remove some of the fun that arguably is kind of there looking at these things happening, but you do create something that's a bit more fair. And I think that we're getting to a point now where there's just more at stake than there used to be, with getting through to the last 32, avoiding the last chance qualification round, which is, it's a last chance, but we've just talked about it being like a place you don't want to be because the caliber of people there is like before you even then get to gameplay, before you even then get to semifinals, it's ridiculous now. So yeah, I think it could be looked at to avoid a bit of the luck that currently plays a part now in at least getting to the top 32 when you're guaranteed the game day.
I like that the overall the competition has expanded, doubled effectively this year in who gets to participate. Not necessarily a matching number of entries doubling, but the number of participants making it through and qualifying doubles. And we do have a massive limitation in Vegas in that we are limited by the space in the arena. So we're always going to have that 64 limit. And the bigger we go with these brackets, the harder it is going to be to narrow that down to what we can fit into an esports arena.
Unless you choose a big arena.
I think I'm thinking that maybe with the new platform we have, I mean, not we, but there are more options, right? Like you could easily do like an elimination Vegas style. Every 5 minutes you drop 20 people. You could do that with the current platform. You know, and that could be interesting. I mean, Harry, I think over there mentioned that the 1v1 is good for drama. Well, maybe an elimination is good for drama, and then we can keep it a bit more less luck based while still retaining drama. I don't know.
I feel like the luck factor and the drama are kind of inseparable. Like, it's, you know, people having really unlucky days, unlucky draws, whatever, is really dramatic. Like, I mean, I remember saying this to Andrew back, I guess 2020 in the FMWC Open, the kind of OG version of this. You know, having been knocked out in the the round of 32 or something, a long way from the final anyway. And, you know, I think like half of there were like 8 seeded players. I think half of them had gone out by that stage. And I remember saying to him, I'm sad for me, obviously, but I feel like from a spectator perspective, that's a good outcome. Like, you know, the seeding reflects skill meaningfully. Like half of these 8 people are, you know, into the final, whatever small number, but also half of them have been knocked out, and there's room for upsets and drama and whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I think, like, obviously it can go against you any one year, but, you know, this thing has been going on long enough now that I think there is something to be said for taking a multi-year view. So, you know, like maybe you have a really bad draw this year. Maybe you don't make it past round 1 because of that. That certainly happens to people. But equally, that makes it super exciting. Like, you know, watching the number of people with the little brackets after their names whittling down as each round goes by is always interesting. Including, of course, you know, me going out, but whatever, details.
There were so many upsets on the first day. It was crazy.
I mean, there were a lot of tough draws on that first battle, the first 2 battles. That just, but then I guess the level of our competition is getting harder and harder. You know more and more names that you're now scared of, as opposed to 2-3 years ago when you were looking at the list of names that you were scared of. It was, you know, a handful of titans up there that you're like, oh God, don't put me up against that person. And now you're looking at 50 odd people that you don't want to face.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know they've only just introduced the seedings, but would extending it out to 64 seeds for next year, which is easy to do. They just take the rankings in the same way they currently do. Maybe be a way that you'd struggle to get yourself just stitched up with someone who's ranked 34th or something in round 1.
I think you'd probably also need to have a lower threshold for getting seeded, because like I don't know, like Anup or Jakob or others, like I think they were seeded because they didn't play 5 rounds.
Yeah.
And if there were 64 seeds or 100 seeds or whatever, they would still be unseeded, and just they're like landmines among the unseeded players. So maybe there's something of like, I don't know, if you're top 10 in any round, or if you're top 32 across at least 5 rounds, or if you're top 50 across at least 3 rounds, or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's some way to cast a slightly wider net.
Or if you make the podium the prior year.
for instance.
Oh my God.
The number of years you've made the final, whether through last chance qualification round or other means.
Yeah, then you are a landmine.
But again, like, it's part of the fun. Like, if you're really worried about not getting landmined, then you can go and make sure you play at least 5 rounds and whatever. But it's part of the fun. All the random, unexpected explosions.
I mean, Jarman does make a great point that the more seeded players we have, the less you have the luck of the draw. So even if we start, at the moment, we've got 256 players. So if you go up to 64, that would be a quarter of all players would be spread out. And then you'd only have a luck of a draw in the, who the other 3 in your bracket are.
Yeah, it's
pluses and minuses to both sides, right?
For me, the main issue is that we just have 1 tournament per year. So if you get an unlucky draw, see you next year. So that's
we gotta get that number up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That'd be great. No, I have an idea, actually. What do you guys think? Instead of having the top half of the 64 round, have the top half, the cumulative top half of the first, second, and third round.
Yeah.
Right? So you could get disqualified in round 1, but if you still keep doing well, you could still make it to Vegas. That could be interesting.
The only thing is, like, at what point do you say, well, okay, now we're also going to include, you did 9 other rounds through the year, so we're going to include those as well. Like, I mean, I think the more you include, the less volatility you get. But I think the challenge for that in the long term, like if you look at Model Off, which is now long dead and gone, like after a few years of that, they made a rule that said you can't be in the final more than 3 times. And the reason they did that was because for many years running, like more than half of the finalists had been returning finalists, and everybody on the podium was not in the finals for their first year. And it just, people look at that and they're like, oh my God, I can't break into this. I think there is something to be said for, you don't want to tamp down the volatility too much, because then it would, like, I think if you tamp it down low enough, I think Andrew would win every year, which is not that different.
we do have new contenders coming through each year that are coming through at the top level.
It's kind of crazy, because you think, hey, there's this power creep, no one can join, and then you have people like Ha, and then you have people like Guy. They come out of nowhere and they start doing super well. It's like, Jesus.
Vincent.
Like Vincent.
So we used to have an argument against doing something like a round robin, purely on the basis that we wouldn't have enough cases. But given that we're now in Dim's golden age, Is it possible to do an early stage round robin?
What do you mean by a round robin?
Well, take your 256, stick them in groups of 4, 6, 8, whatever. Everyone plays everyone. So if you got a group of 4, you get to play 3 times within that group of 4, and then only the top 1 or 2 go through.
Yeah, round robin.
We're going to start the online rounds in July so that we get it done.
Yeah.
I would be very happy with that.
We have a plethora of cases like being fed through. What we need is more money for case testers. And
Yeah, Eric says not a great to encourage newcomers to limit the bottom half, but if you just consider bottom half within groups, so groups of 8, 16 people, it's still, I mean, you can have a bit of luck in the draw of that group. So it's not that if you're not at the top of the game, you're out. And more cases. Correct.
I mean, I'm not sure we can plead a shortage of cases at this stage.
No.
I think we have solved the case problem, no? We have now more. We have
replaced it with a different
there are more case authors
Yes.
than we have.
There is a very different
cases.
case problem. Escape velocity all the way. Jesus. I still haven't done some of the freaking the Dach ones, the UK ones,
Madagascar.
the Brazilian ones, the Madagascar ones. I have some left on all of those competitions.
I think the only like big cluster I have left is the like Madagascar May thing where they just did like 25, 30 cases. I have a chunk of those left to do, and then I have like a handful of the free ones from over the summer left to do. I think I might catch up before Vegas on this year, but I might be the only one.
Maybe. Did you ever figure out the freaking Lana question in Malice in Wonderland?
The Lana question in Malice in
The
Wonderland.
riddle, the final riddle.
Oh no, I did.
still
I gave
haven't
up.
figured it
Gave up.
out, and I
gave up
tested
and
that
watched
case.
Hayden's video. Yeah, it got.
Wait,
it
has
got,
anyone figured that out?
Yeah, Hayden
Wearing my
figured it out.
Malice in Wonderland shirt.
Really?
Yeah, Hayden figured it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well done, Hayden. And has Harry confirmed that that is the correct answer?
Oh, I mean, there's
I
no.
suppose the answer
Yes,
is
he
actually
has,
in
but
there.
there was no mistaking it. Like it's.
Once you got it, it was clear. Okay.
Oh.
Yes, exactly.
Damn it. Now that's going to haunt me again for another week.
Well, this is the
Almost
thing.
a
Is like
baffling-
it was like bugging me for a while after I tested it, but then not enough to go and crack it, and then it was bugging me again after Hayden got it because like, okay, it is actually solvable by a human being, which isn't obvious when it's Harry's hardest question. But yeah, there's too much else going on. I was like, all right, if I don't get it done in the next, or at least if I don't like find time to work on it in the next few weeks, then I'm just gonna. I got to the end of several weeks and still hadn't found time to do it. I was like, all right, fine, I give up. Sorry, Harry. I know that I have let you down a little bit, but
Almost like a certain cipher I can think of.
My God.
Harry keeps
24
poking me,
hours
like,
of no sleeping.
When is that solution coming out? I haven't forgotten, which is not the same as saying it's coming out right now, but I have not forgotten. It is on my list. But on the other hand, higher on my list right now are 4 cases from last weekend that I still haven't done videos on, 3 of which I haven't even looked at. And then, yeah, after that, and then I guess by the time I get through those, there's going to be a Chile final this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Is this weekend? This one?
Yeah, it's this weekend, sadly, because I still have to build it. I have so much to do. It's crazy. I go to sleep like every day at like 2:00. I'm sleeping like 4 hours a night. It's bananas.
Oh, that's
I have so much to do.
Yeah,
But
after
I love
December,
it.
you can sleep for 1 month before
thoroughly
the first battle of
exhausting.
Las Vegas 2026, so no worries.
Yeah, I mean, if I usually like for a good chunk of my life had a motivation problem. Right now, I have I need more energy to do all the stuff I want to do problem.
Yeah, I've been training all year for an Ironman that I'm doing in like 11
Really?
days now. Yeah.
He's not training for the MEWC.
Yeah, he doesn't need to.
I was going to say between that and this,
The
like
full Ironman, Dim, or the half Ironman?
full Ironman, yeah.
My God.
I'm gonna get home on whatever it is, like the 7th of December, and just be like, how did I fill my days before this stuff?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, I
is-
did like Anders text me back. That
Guys,
was
the
really
chat
good.
is asking for the top 3 cases of the year.
Yeah.
Who's gonna go
So
first?
I feel like what we need to do is actually, if they're not going to do it officially, we have a site like community-led top cases of the year and top community cases of the year as well. So official and community cases can get voted on.
What do you mean by official and community? Because to me, there's like the free ones, there's the local ones, and then there's the MEWC ones.
So I would say the official ones I would count as anything you can do in a competition.
Okay.
So that would include the local chapter cases.
Yeah.
And then the community ones would be the ones that people have been releasing for free in the community.
So
Okay.
I think my first nomination would be one that's a bit across both, but it would be Harry's Whodunit, because it was like a lovely case and like sparked so much interest and like had so many, like such a variety of solutions, and then the director's cut that he shared afterwards was just like actually not only had all the kind of challenges and complications, but also like tied it all together into a story. It was beautiful, a work of art.
I think I would go for Malice in Wonderland. I think it was extremely fun and extremely charming.
Yep.
There's a common theme there, isn't there, in terms of the UK authors and the UK championship? No, but
Does that just sit on your desk now, Lorenzo?
To see it every day.
Can you show us that again? I think
Correct.
Nick missed that. Sorry to
Wow.
interrupt your talk.
Just hold it up with a heart. It's not about though, is it?
Ouch! Burn.
Let's the duck open.
Yeah,
Dim
he's got the duck one as
managed
well.
to steal the full global, first place.
You're just trying to clock.
Yeah,
clock
you
the
were
world. You turn up in Chile as
the
well.
local international winner.
Yeah, exactly. Local.
I was just going to say, I think it's pretty cool how the UK cases have kind of created their own little identity, where they have these elaborate stories that go alongside the cases, which is just like a little something different that the UK team seems to have developed and kind of created their own little thing on the back of it. It's really cool.
WhatsApp group that we had was an interesting place to be during case design phases.
It was.
Sure.
Yeah, I can believe that.
And we did decide not to put any limitations that would otherwise be put on the case authors, in the sense that Alice, for example, has been seen to be taking multiple substances that perhaps she wouldn't be allowed to take in the main competition. There were a few other random things dropped into some of the cases throughout the year that we were just like, I wonder if we'll get away with this when they put this on the main platform.
I did something that I've never done in a case with Alice was for the Cheshire Cat level. I had
Was
like
that level 3?
I think it was level 3, yeah. Because I had this formula, right, like a circular reference, but with a randomizer tossed inside. And I calculated like 10 times, and eventually it converged. And I have never done that again, and it was amazing.
I promise you, like, when we were testing that case, I was one of the first ones to test it, and I was convinced that everyone else should record themselves testing that case, because the reactions, apparently Johnny was just sitting next to me telling me that I was saying either I love this case or I hate this case. I'm just like either swearing at Harry or saying he was the world's best genius.
Why not both?
But that level literally was probably what absolutely swung that case for me, was being able to use that logic, a combination of logic and a slight element of manual in there, manual logic combined with programmatic logic.
Yeah. The one from Brazil, the one where you could only use each answer once, I thought was really, really cool as well.
The last one from Klinsmann. Where do I put my answers? Yeah, really
very cool.
innovative. Yeah. By the way, I filtered my tracker for cases for 2025 and I got 88 results. And
no way.
I have a line item which is called countless Madagascar cases, which I need to update. So that probably accounts for other 15 cases, which I don't have in my tracker.
Hang on. I've got a full.
So we're probably above 100.
I mean,
Okay, so
I've got 184. That's including like MECC and FMWC.
For 2025?
Yeah. If I take those out, I've got 139.
Is that with the community cases? Yes.
Yeah. Community, local, international, but not including FMWC
I feel
or
like
MECC.
so I actually like who was it? Was it Gabe suggested the 3 categories where you have the official overall, then the local chapters, and then the community ones.
Yeah, like here.
Yeah. I like that. I say we should go with that as a voting strategy. But because not everyone has tried all of the 184 cases, what is that what Dim said?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 180 included the MECC and the FMWC, so that's
okay.
slightly
We can
up.
probably
You
cut
still
that.
are left with 130, so
Yeah.
That's still a lot.
you can
Sorry,
easily
I've
try them
got-
before Vegas
I've got
without
two
any
unhappy
effort.
children here, so I'm gonna have to depart again. Sorry.
Vadim.
Good to
Bye,
see
Dim.
you guys.
Johnny.
Congrats
Bye.
again, Lorenzo.
Thank you, Vadim. Yeah, you can easily probably try 130 cases before Vegas without too much stress. So it's just 4 cases per day. What is it?
So there's an awful lot of cases, but we've all tried at least a portion of them. But I feel like the cases that will naturally have been tried, like the competition cases or the ones where the local chapters have had more subscribers because, you know, the English cases are probably easier for everyone to access, for example, would be heavily weighted due to purely just having more people taking part in them. So it would be kind of cool if we could have like a track of what people rate it and how many ratings there are, and then rank them based on that.
How hard would it be to leverage the platform? Obviously, going through MEWC guys, but basically, at the end of doing the case, you've got your 3 minutes these days to go and attach your thingy. And there's a little question that says, how did you rank what did you think of the case out of 10? Because my issue is that I've got the memory of a goldfish. And so if you said, all right, Nick, what was your favorite case from the Round to Las Vegas series? I'd go, yeah, what were the cases? And maybe if you prompted me, like, who done it? Like, oh, yeah, I can kind of remember what that one's about. But off the top of my head, I struggle to kind of come up with what these cases were, and I kind of have to go back and leverage and
absolutely. I mean, there obviously are a few
sometimes
cases.
click into them to see what they look like.
There are a few cases that kind of stick in your head.
Some do.
Bite-Mirror, right?
I'll give a quick. Which one? Sorry.
Bite-Mirror.
Bite-Mirror.
I thought for whatever reason you just said Share the Ride, which was a different nightmare which has persisted for some years. Yeah, I do want to give a shout out on the free case side of things. I thought that Kobe's Cretaceous Park was awesome.
I have not played many of the free cases, I'm not going to lie, but that is the one that I do keep hearing about. I think one of the things that I have played is Harry's game case. And I feel like from an innovation perspective and the number of, you know, being able to lock out what you can do in Excel, that has also been an incredibly fun case to play.
Yeah, it's probably a masterpiece, I would say. I still have to play it properly, but yeah, I mean, Kobe is happy with this comment.
Yep.
Yeah, I cannot really choose between those 90 cases, but I loved the case from Lander, the one with the runes in it. It's probably think it's called Runic Prism. Sorry for the pronunciation.
Oh, yeah, that one.
The one in
was
which
fun,
you have your, your object, and you need to understand the rune power based on color, the type, and the position. I mean, that's super genius creative stuff. But yeah, I mean, all the
I'd
other
say the
ones are
Rubik's
great.
Cube
So.
one was even better. That's where I made my rotate lambda. Like, why does Excel not have a rotate function?
Yeah,
I'll give you a really quick annotate on the rotate thing in relation to that case, the throwing knives case. I've got a rotate lambda too, except I've got it as an option as part of my reverse lambda, but I forgot that at the time. So I went, I've got a rotate lambda equals ROT, and nothing turns up. And I'm like, so then I go to Name Manager, and I'm scrolling through Name Manager going, where could it be?
How many lambdas do you have, Nick?
If I'm guessing, probably 50 or 60.
I think there's always danger with lambdas. As you make more and more lambdas, you forget what they're called, what you've done, and so on. And it is OA Robot's kind of useful in that sense, because if you start logging your lambdas in there, you can do what, like as you said, your rotate was a function at the end of, like, an option at the end of another thing. You could have used that and just started typing in rotate, and it does that lambda with the rotate option. But it is getting harder and harder to keep track as your library gets bigger and bigger. And if you steal your library, as many of us do,
no, you're dead.
You don't stand a chance unless you're actively training all of those lambdas over and over. The stuff I've found I've used the most this year has been those speedrun cases from earlier on in the year. The techniques I used for kind of like dissecting arrays using OA Robot, or the lambdas that I used to kind of get through those, are the ones that I have used over and over throughout the year, because I trained myself repeatedly to use those really fast.
I think I'm at 110 lambdas, and frankly, I actually think I use them all.
That's impressive.
It's like I have one for freaking everything. Well, my date lambdas I don't use. I mean, how often do you have to calculate a Julian calendar in 1472?
Well, it depends on how many Harrys you have on your team.
Yes. One day, a case will come with old or future dates, and I will freaking break it. Until that day comes, I'll have my date lambdas.
Let's hope no case author will decide for this team. So
I'd be fine without dates. Absolutely fine. They've been done once. Let's let it lie for a wee bit.
Yep. It is surprisingly difficult to calculate. I was hours working the logic.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm not good with dates at all. And when I saw Nick's case, the crab one, I said, oh no, not against them, because I'm gonna be crushed completely on this one. And also the tide cycle, when I saw that, I said, oh no, this is exactly the kind of thing that is going to trip me up. But probably it was not that hard from a date perspective, so I managed somehow to stay calm and go through it. But when I saw it at first, I said, oh my God. Why this one? Why exactly this one against them?
Because I hate dates and time. So if I create a case, that means that no one else gets to. It's really
That's amazing. I was surprised it was kind of in your back pocket. I thought it was a very cool case. I liked it a lot.
The idea is so cool. It's so cute.
Yeah.
And actually, I was so focused on solving it, let's say, from an algorithmic standpoint, that I didn't notice it made so much sense that when you have high tide, you don't find animals. When you have low tide, you find them. But during the case, I got no attention at all to those details. So when I went back to the case, I kind of appreciated the also the idea behind in terms of the data. And I mean, that was so cool in terms of idea.
Yep. Very, very cool.
Yeah, thank you. I created that one. I had to look. I kept on saying I did it last year, and I just had a quick look. See, back in May last year, when it was created and kind of submitted. So it's quite fascinating for. It was fascinating and
aged pretty well.
Like JJ when it was then selected, and it was like, oh crap, there's what case is being used. This is news to me. But cool to see that. I guess almost 18 months later, the incredible development and skill across everyone. Lambda development.
It's still relevant.
There's been 200 cases in the last 18 months that have allowed people to kind of stretch their thinking. And cool that it seemed to hold up okay. Like. I was pretty stoked actually to see the results of basically a lot of people getting, over 1,000 points, but not people that were solving it, which is personally for me as a case author, I'm trying to put something together. My aim is that the winner is getting 1,200 or maybe 1,250 in 28 minutes. Like that's sort of the dream that I'm aiming for.
That's a good spot to aim
people
for.
are able to test every part of it, or potentially be testing every part of it, but they're not getting through the case in 20 minutes, and then also they're not, having a high score across the board of like 800, and no one even knows what level 7 was. So yeah, I was pretty happy with how we.
And did you manage to review it? Was it like the original one you submitted or not yet?
Oh, I gave it a look-see about an hour ago. So I was saying to Lorenzo, we were chatting back and forth a few days ago in the aftermath of the weekend. And the case being used was news to me. And I was, I still until about an hour or two ago hadn't looked at the finished product of what had been used. And so I was looking at it going, am I going to recognize what this even looks like? I don't know. I haven't had a chance to go through the live stream properly and kind of follow what Lorenzo and Dim were up to. But yeah, they held pretty damn true to what I originally had put forward. A couple of actually really good additions where I was asking for like probabilities of things happening, and like the answers were like 0.2% and that sort of thing. But what they had done instead is said, if you did it 10,000 times, what does the outcome look like? So adding that times 10,000 and turning 0.2% into
that's a good idea.
Out of 10,000 or something. I thought it was actually really good.
I think also for the platform to avoid,
avoid decimal answers. Avoid.
Yeah. So kudos. I mean, as I said, I did it 18 months ago, so I hadn't really thought about how nice or friendly that might be or otherwise. But otherwise, I think every question was kind of true to what I put forward. So I guess that was kind of cool to know that it reflected what I put together. And then cool to see the feedback that people seem to enjoy the case, and there were some really good battles that came from it.
Cool.
I start feeling the pressure of designing some cases now. Jack, it's just you and me that we're missing to the party. So
I mean, I've designed cases. I had one that I sent off. I mean, I've done a couple of FMWC cases the last few years, but I had one that I did send off 2 years. It was still like 5 levels back at that time, and apparently Dim was sent it to test, decided it was too hard, and they never used that. So that was fun. And then I kind of take that as like a badge of honor, to be honest. And I do have another one, which I literally, while we've been having this conversation, I did it in January. December, January, got it to a point, realized that my idea for level 7, I couldn't find a solution for. So I decided not to do that and pass it on to someone and like collaborate. But the collaboration hasn't really happened. So it's just been sitting there. So I think I'm going to send that off to them now as well. That would be fun.
Cool.
So I do have some. So I've actually attended the last 2 years, the conference I've attended as a case author. So technically, I am in there. Did you guys notice there has been an email come out while we've been on this call with the final results are marked as out?
Oh, it's official. Oh, wow.
It's official now. I've just gone through brackets 1 to 4. No changes in the last 64 rounds, but I'm just skimming the rest of them to see if there's any other changes to points, that might get someone through to the last 64 or something, for example. But at the moment, nothing up to bracket 5.
Yeah, Andrew Nye is still there. Oh, 1250 last case.
That was your check. Is Andrew Nye still there? Damn it, he is.
1250 also.
Ooh, DQ. Who
Need to move on to plan B. How do we plane from Sydney?
Did anyone get disqualified?
Yeah, there was a disqualification in one of the earlier rounds.
Avery Clark. Yeah, was he
I feel like it might have been someone that hadn't gotten the memo about the AI rules or something, but we haven't. It's not been announced. So I think if it was anything of note that was, to worry about, then
it could be a battle for them next year as organizers, because the stuff that's coming out now seems to be good enough to kind of create. I mean, getting the answers is one thing, but actually mimicking and creating workings that a human might come up with.
Thomas
as well
checking
leads to the question of how would you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas. Yep, I'm still out. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, so I've just checked all the 64, 32, and 16 scores, and those all look identical. So they haven't had to alter any scores on after the fact, which is a testament to how well the new platform's working.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew is there every year because, I mean, he's super strong, incredibly strong, but still managing to go through every single year is, I mean, mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
Because even if you have a, let's say, 95% probability of winning every round, to win 5 rounds in a row, it's 0.95 to the power of 5, which is significantly lower than 0.95. Multiply that for 4 years or whatever. Jesus.
He's just a master.
Probably he has more than 0.95.
I mean, to be fair, we were having this debate about him winning every year up until less than a year ago. And he's not even competing in every round. He's just kind of coming in, casually playing and going, bye, guys. And then swanning up again.
Like, I don't need to play all 9 rounds. I'll just play 5. And with that, I'm seated and top 8 and bye.
I will have 4,998 points out of 5,000. Yeah.
Yeah. He's so humble too. You can't really get upset. Like, dare I say, he's probably even more humble than Giles. And you can't help but like the guy. So it's like, oh, you're so good, but well done. We'll try. We'll try and do what we can in your shadow. Kind of feels that way sometimes.
It's like I'm looking at the different rounds, right? And I'm kind of wondering, because at least for his bracket, round 1 he got the highest score. Round 2 he got the highest score. Round 3 he got the highest score, but multiple people did. He probably did it faster.
Well, that's the one where that was the, I believe, Vincent's race car case. That was when he got 1,000 on, yeah, where the top score was 1,000. A lot of people got 1,000 across it, and I mean, if he kept on trying, he probably wouldn't have hit the button early, and that comes back to that debate earlier that Michael Jarman put up, right, around when should they be recognizing the scores when they're tied. So that's the sort of one that he could have got sorted. Got screwed over.
Beat him on round 1.
Oh.
You would have beat him on round 1. You got 931. He got 920. Crazy, huh?
Nice.
Primo.
Yeah. There were very few scores in the 900s on that round, on that particular case. Round 1.
I can't even remember what round 1 was.
You got 931. I think Emily got 910, and I remember being like, "Wow, you're like within 10 points of Andrew Nye there." So that was, and I think the thing with Andrew as a player is he is our most consistent player.
Yeah.
And he is effectively what becomes consistency, the definition of consistency in this sport.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Even when he gets a computer with French local settings,
he'll still be beating all of us.
he got first place in that one. What the heck?
I think he was like, I think he had like semicolons instead of commas and things like that. And he was
That's
just
exactly
like,
what I
oh,
was
we're
hoping.
working with that. All right, then. And then switched over in his head and still kind of.
Do you guys have any bold predictions for Vegas? Because we were asked to make some bold predictions.
Bold predictions. Damon and Andrew are going to make the finals. There.
But that's not a bold prediction.
That's not
Not
bold.
bold.
I don't know, man.
When you say Dim and Andrew are going to make the finals, you mean the post semi-finals, finals, the final.
Yeah, finals.
Okay, because technically Lorenzo and Nick and Andrew are all finals.
Oh, yeah, no, but I mean finals, not semifinals. Yeah.
The real final.
Yeah, Lorenzo and I.
Yeah, but that's still not a bold
Finals
prediction
are
for
the
the Andrew.
finals.
So.
You're finalists, but not yet. You got to work harder on the day.
We've
now.
got to buck the top eight curse, Lorenzo, because it seems like everyone from last year that went through day 2, basically on the whole, did better than the people that were top 8 automatic semi-finalists.
Yeah, I don't see a correlation, honestly.
Has to do with the exposure to the stadium and the
Yes.
arena, and I feel like those that had previously been on the stage had a better chance than people coming up in finals for the first time, and then only like on day 3 being on the stage, having the lights, hearing the commentators. All of that, when you're on the stage, is a lot worse than. I mean, I can't talk. I've only ever been on the stage to test set up OA robot or something. But the rest of it, when you're on the ground or when you're competing on your own computer, it's not that big, that scary. But
well, I was
coming in
not
on
on
day
stage
3,
on day 2, so in fact I did terribly on day 3. So,
but now you've been on the stage.
Yeah,
You've both been on the stage. You've
yeah, but
all
I
been on
left
stage.
Vegas
AJ,
last
you were on
year.
stage as well, weren't you? Last year.
I left Vegas last year saying I need to be prepared to be on stage next year. Now that we are 40 days before Vegas, I feel like 1 year ago.
You're
so
not prepared?
I'm still not ready for stage.
Well,
I've got a good training technique for you if you want
take a
to.
walk around the arena, beforehand.
Yeah.
I will maybe
Yeah,
grab some case on the tube in London, or I don't know.
You can do some
Starbucks.
practice cases that were in the finals last year, and then literally open up YouTube, get the commentary going, start it when they start, and basically be playing alongside with the commentary going on, which is distracting as anything, but also you're starting to mimic what the experience looks like, and that's what you have to work with.
Is it distracting? I have no idea.
It was distracting. I've got these headphones, right? They're good, $300 or $400 headphones, right? You put on the Bluetooth and the noise cancelling, and what it did for me in the arena is,
But it's not enough. Yeah, me too.
It blocked out everyone and everything, except I could hear the commentators with crystal clarity.
Yeah.
So I basically heard
probably
a
works.
void of nothingness except Giles and Oz back and forth. That's all I heard, which was, I probably should have taken them off. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
that's definitely
I'm
worse.
going to actually play some music next time or something.
You
which
need
maybe will help.
Lorenzo headphones.
Yeah.
This is my setup for this year.
You look like you're going to go lawn mowing.
Yeah, exactly. It's that one.
Or
So I have
shooting.
my headphones here, plus this on top. And this is gonna work, guys. I already tested
and then
this.
you have
in London.
fishbowl on your head.
I don't
right?
care. I don't care.
Oh, a fishbowl on your head would actually make a great visual thing, except that seeing your spreadsheets is a bit harder.
I considered, since Dim wears a pirate hat, I wanted to wear a ninja hat, because ninja beats pirate. But
Lorenzo, are you going to be wearing a pirate hat this year?
I don't know. I don't know, guys.
So
Let's see.
Elliot brought those last year, so someone else has to bring them if Elliot's not coming this year, and attach the Liana Doomslayer pictures on. So someone that's showing up this year, and this is a hint to everyone out there: make yourself a pirate hat. Go get a copy of that that image that Julian created last week, and get yourself a Lorenzo Doomslayer hat for the arena.
I mean, I feel so sorry for them that I will feel too guilty to wear it, to be honest.
To be fair, he wore it in the arena.
So he is gonna wear my hat. Okay, that's fair enough.
So he did wear one in the arena. To be fair, the commentators wore one then. And then when Dim wore Liana's face in pirate hat, Liana messaged me and said, what are the chances we can get a Dim in a pirate in the same logo by tomorrow? So I sat up that night in Vegas until 3 a.m. drawing a copy of Dim, and then Liana was running around the next day instead of going to conference getting a printout of that so she could have her own special hat for the final day.
That's amazing.
Okay, Benny says a bold prediction will be someone who started this year will make top 6.
Oh, I would say there's at least 2 strong contenders there that I can think of from this year's new starts.
Who are they?
Yeah.
Well, Ha.
One's got a belt already.
Hashtag Team Ha. Sorry, Lorenzo.
No worries.
Nothing personal. And Daisuke Yamada, who was very close to getting into the top 8, and no one had ever seen or heard. What does anyone know about Daisuke? Daisuke?
He's Japanese.
That's what I've gotten. But the scores that he was coming out with, he got a 998 on that case that we were just talking about. Andrew and I got a 930 on.
Yeah.
Wow. And he got a 1041 on the case where everyone got 1,000.
He did. Yeah.
The only person who broke the 1,000. Yeah. Wow.
So it was only in the very last round that San from China actually knocked him out. So he did incredibly well for a newcomer. And Ha has only just picked up the game this year. He didn't he didn't even try before, I think it was Global Excel Summit in February, that he heard about the UK chapter and then started competing from that. I'm not sure who else we've got that is officially a new contestant that made the top kind of 64, 32, but those are my 2 that I would say from the latest up and coming contestants to watch out for.
Well,
I think for the title, to be fully honest, probably Dim and Andrew, I will give to them higher chances. Among the other ones, I think it's a coin flip. Literally 20 people can win the title based on the performance on the day. There's so much volatility on a single case that basically anything can happen, or almost anything can happen. Maybe.
I think, as I remember discussing this last year, the ones that actually stand a good chance of winning in the actual final, it's usually Dim, even though he never actually wins. Sorry, Dim. Andrew. And then, I mean, I actually said this last year, Jarman would be my 3rd person in because of the style of games that they have in the final. Jarman is really good at games, kind of.
Yeah.
I want to go role-playing games, kind of geeky, nerdy game kind of cases. So if there was something on like Dungeons and Dragons, he'd be in there, right? So when we got like WoW, EVE Online even was a little bit towards him, but maybe not quite so much in that genre, but more the World of Warcraft stuff was definitely in his ballpark.
Benny is in agreement with you. Says
if you
Michael
were too
will.
easy, though, that it worked against you on WoW, because that's what happened to me in level 5. You could wear 2 helmets per se.
Yeah.
And my model.
Yeah, you're thinking ahead and thinking of all the extra possible solutions and problems.
Yeah, you couldn't wear 2 items in the same slot, and apparently you could. So yeah.
Well, I've got to go in a minute, guys, but I'll give my little bombshell idea. It's not really much of a bombshell, won't be too much of a surprise, but
Go for it.
there's one guy who last year on the stage went in with incredible form and just bombed out very, very early, and then also got himself a self-stitch up, I think, in the last 16 going into the top 8 this year, where I understand he copied in his answers from like the example down to one question from the bottom instead of the ones that under it, which would have got him through the top 8. So I reckon that Jack Franken is going to go through game day like a little man possessed. I reckon he's top 3 of game day, and he's going to storm into the finals, and I don't want him in my semi.
He is a very strong contender, absolutely.
I think he'll use he's had some bad experiences. Last year he got knocked up really early, like one of the first eliminated, which I'm sure
it was quite surprising. Yeah,
with. But I reckon he'll be able to use that.
He did get a stage appearance though last year. So he's at least had that kind of exposure to.
Yeah, but for 5 minutes, probably something went wrong with his model at the very beginning, so he was out immediately. It was quite
a lot harder to talk about you when you talk back, by the way.
Yeah, apparently his skill with games is earned through the MEWC and not through real life.
It's innate.
Yeah.
It's innate. You really should be playing, Magic the Gathering, some D&D,
Right, I do need to run. Hey, thanks a bunch, guys, for the session. It's been awesome.
Nick.
Bye, Nick.
Ciao.
Yeah, good. He should go try Power Gaming and let us know how he does.
And congratulations to Nick now that he's left. A bit late, but congrats on making the finals. If you watched it back.
You had 1 hour and a half to.
Yeah.
Kay has been super consistent as well, I think, through all the 5 rounds. So yeah, amazing stuff.
Excellent.
Oh, it's 40 days before Vegas. Looking forward to it.
It's
very close.
It's Vincent earlier, Excelmus. It's the countdown to Excelmus.
Yeah, the countdown can start.
It is. I've always thought of this as Christmas for geeks, for Excel geeks.
That's how I describe it. It's just like Christmas when you were 8 years old, 10 years old. It's that.
Yes.
Exactly that.
I mean, I say that Christmas itself, not that exciting these days.
Oh, yeah.
Vegas, way more exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
JJ, your bold prediction for Vegas? I think we're missing your.
I don't know. I don't think I have a bold prediction, frankly. I look at the competitors, right? There's so many very, very strong competitors. But to be fair, I think it's somewhat the more predictable ones, right? For the most part, I'm upset because I feel so much stronger than last year, but I feel relatively so much weaker. What the heck is it with this power creep? It's bananas. So, yeah.
So I have one potential, and it's the first person I ever cheered on in Excel. So I will say this is the first sports person I have ever cheered on in my life. And Michael Jarman was the second right after he was knocked out, but Anut will be attending Vegas this year. And he was in the finals a few years ago, and I want to see him kind of like do a strong final comeback for this year in Vegas.
All right. Who
is he in the listings for Last Chance?
Who is he?
Who is he? Anoop Agarwal. So he was in the finals in 2020 when I when I first started watching. That was the day I started watching, was those finals, and I was like, okay, I'm supporting you. And then he got knocked out, so then I started supporting. I was part of the Germany army for the rest of that day.
Yeah.
And
He's a menace in FMWC.
His what?
He is a menace in FMWC.
He is. He's a very strong contender that doesn't get mentioned a whole lot here because he probably doesn't do a whole lot of MEWC stuff. But given that he is a former finalist a few years back, will be showing up. He is in Las Vegas. He's in our Vegas WhatsApp group. So that would mean he would potentially be in the last chance qualification round, and Vincent says he's already through his top 48.
Yeah,
okay, great. So he is in there. Top 48.
Yeah.
Isn't he? Hold on. Wouldn't he have qualified through the top half of the last 64?
I think that's what Hayden's just said there. I'm looking at my brackets.
Exactly. He's top 48. Yeah, I would have been surprised otherwise.
Yeah, so I want to see that kind of like come through. I mean, he got knocked out by Daisuke this year, who is our mind-blowing new contestant that no one's seen or knows anything about yet, but we will. So
yeah.
That would be an interesting battle to rehash, actually, the battle between them. So,
yeah.
Kobe says one of these cases will be used in the semifinals. Might very well be the case, to be honest, because those are great cases on the harder side. So, definitely. I hope not, to be honest. At least not for my semifinal, but let's see.
Oh, Emily was an incredibly strong player this season. So yeah, I'm with Hayden on that one.
Yeah.
And Vincent's
my bold prediction is Andrew Nye 4-time world champion. I mean, it's not super bold, but
well, he needs to start his hat trick again.
He is absolutely a favorite for it, but there is a really good chance, I'd say more than 50%, there's gonna be someone else because there's so many
for sure. I think no one has a more than 15-20% chance of
Lorenzo for champion.
I mean, it's we need the planets to be aligned, but I will do my best for it. You can be sure.
Yeah,
it will be a very hard training for me.
One of our top 8 finalists this year so far.
Well, theoretically semi-finalist, but I will do my best.
Yeah, theoretically semi-finalist.
Very good.
I mean, last year I would have come second in my semi-final, but I forgot to link my model to the input data, so that's why I was out.
Really?
Yeah. I was refreshing data table, and before doing that, I copy and pasted values in the input for the model. So and the crazy thing is that the first game of that level had the same exact input of the example. So I was not getting 0%, but I was getting 5% of the level. And I was so confused by the stage that I thought I was having more than 5%. So I moved on to the next level without troubleshooting that. It would have been a 10 seconds thing. But
wow,
it's this has been chasing me for a whole year. So
and all the silly mistakes we make, they chase us. It's terrible, the thing with a bit of music, they would have gotten full score and first place, but I copied my level 5 onto my level 6 answers
all the time. I know.
Why does that happen? But I think the platform makes it way better, right? Because if you're using a data table, You copy straight from the data table.
Yeah.
You don't have to go back to the and I think that's far easier.
It does make it harder for them to then track your results if they're in a random spot in the spreadsheet, but the chances they don't often go in there unless you're contending something, and then you can always say, well, this was actually saved in a different spot. But I think it's worth noting that there's a difference. Sorry. There is a difference in whether you paste your values and it overwrites the values, or whether you type them and it depends, whatever you've said in the platform.
But
keep this in mind going forward. It could be the difference between like having to do the last chance qualification round and getting through to day 2.
Would you be in favor of having the live feedback also in the offline rounds? I mean, online rounds, but every round you play, but not on the live stream?
I mean, I personally, I'm going to go not at a question level, because I very much like, or even at like level, I very much do when I get to later levels. I know I'm not going to finish level 7. So I go through, and if it's a small enough range of answers, I will go through and type out answers in the platform.
That's fair. I mean,
and
it's
watch that
use
feedback. So,
can you imagine the last chance qualification round with the live scoreboard of all the 300 people playing there, and you have this like deadline of the 15th place, and you look at you being
it's going to be a different game this year.
Down. That is going to be mad if they do something like
especially
that.
if they've got like a line and it just shows that
exactly
it shows the ones that qualify, and then your current where you are.
That would be so cool.
That would be really cool. And the thing is, they could technically throw that live on the screen for those that aren't.
Exactly that. That generates like us looking at like betting on the horses from outside the room. Wow, that would be incredible.
Yeah. Well, I see Kobe says I'm afraid of Giles Spike Mare strat being used on stage, but I think it was very tense. It was a very dramatic moment. I think it made for a very cool competition, when they were like, trying to one up each other with like specific answers.
Yeah, but I mean, it's no different to having someone solving the level manually. You decide to invest your time in a manual solution, and another competitor might invest his time or her time in a formula solution, and then if it goes in the right direction, you're cooked with the manual solution. So yeah, Benny, exactly that. We want to see the scoreboard live for last chance qualification round.
How many people, like we've definitely got more than 64 people in the last chance qualification round, right?
More? Sorry, can you repeat?
More than 64 people in the last chance qualification.
For sure, you will have more than 64 people. It was 20.
Last year you had...
Because that would have been quite fun to do in the arena as well. Because then you can have your top potentials on the stage and have the big screen showing the run through. But
why don't we collect some interest from people in having this last chance qualification round live mechanism, or maybe just for the spectators, not for the players, so we don't impact their behavior, but we expected at least they need to give something to us. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
They're gonna make us play because we need to pay the ticket, but at least we get the Vegas entertainment value.
Yeah, I mean, the more feedback you give to the audience, the more interesting it becomes, and that benefits us all.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's not hard to organize, I think, no? Because they can do like a separate view in the platform to see the scoreboard live, and players cannot see it. Come on, can be in software. You can do whatever you want. It's just a matter of
never tell a programmer it's not hard to do something, because they're gonna.
I didn't say it's not hard. I said it's doable. Probably it's also not hard. Probably it's also easy.
Here.
We have Thomas. Thomas, are you still here? What do you think on this? I think it's an easy job. Come on. I can
Oh,
I can volunteer some
I
hours.
was in
of,
charge of a programming team, and that they
Yeah.
they will
I
hurt you.
feel like Lorenzo is on the design team at this rate, and is kind of like requesting like
Yeah.
27 different features that aren't easy to just throw in.
I would always argue with my programmers, right? Because I'd said something was simple, and they're like, "But it takes a while." But like, yeah, no, it's big, but it's not complicated. I agree that it's going to take a long time because it's big, but it's not complex. And we would argue about the definition.
Yeah, we need to make something for this last chance, guys. The idea is too interesting to let it go. So I'm gonna post something on the WhatsApp group and tag Jade and kindly ask for this gift for Vegas. They have 1 month to prepare it, so.
Oh yeah, you can get a lot done in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're not,
especially if you need to organize Vegas
tournament.
Yeah.
Okay,
anyway.
cool, guys.
Good luck.
Any
JJ,
closing thoughts
this weekend? Is it? You said it was this weekend, yeah?
Yeah, it's this weekend. So yeah, we're working really hard on publicity and again, I mean, it's not like I have nothing, but I'm finishing up the case, and that takes a lot of time, right? And I usually have to polish a lot, but I think it's going to be a fun case. I have some really fun ideas, so make something.
I would love to
different.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, but no, make something different without going overboard with the difficulty, as I always freaking do. Yeah.
I would have loved to touch on the future plans for local chapters, since you're all local chapter founders, and also we were supposed to have Klinsmann, but he couldn't make it. But maybe we can organize another lounge going forward.
I think that would be a good idea.
I have zero plans. I will.
I will look like a guy with a plan.
Vegas, and then I will start planning. There is zero time for planning right now.
Makes sense. We'll do that after Vegas. Totally.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. I say
okay,
it's
guys.
definitely worth doing, and I look forward to doing that. But congratulations, Lorenzo.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Well played this week. That was really good.
Very good.
Yeah, it was a super intense weekend, and yeah, a day will not forget for sure. So very pleased with that.
All right.
Okay, guys. Thanks a lot.
I feel like you should
joining.
have a glass trophy just for what happened this last weekend.
I will consider making one.
Making one just for yourself, yeah.
Yeah. Guys, it has been a pleasure. Hope to see you soon. If not directly in Vegas. And yeah, wish you a great evening, and thanks for all the people watching the stream. Bye, guys. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.